So my name is Sheva Carr, and I am so delighted to be here today with my dear friend and partner, Fred Fuchs. We're partners on a project called Operation Big Sister. I brought Fred this incredible story that I heard at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women about an empowered group of Icelandic women who joined forces, everyday women, housewives, graduate students, people like me, who decided that they wanted to do something about modern-day slavery and the sex trade. We're going to tell their story in an entertaining feature film called Operation Big Sister, after the Big Sisters.
The Big Sisters is a group of anonymous women, feminists in Iceland, that didn't accept that we had a flourishing prostitution going on. We had a law that forbid to buy women, but the law was not implemented. The police didn't react.
I'm not going to tell you who I am. That's not because I'm afraid of anything. It is because I think that the Big Sister, the effect of the Big Sister is more if many of us are anonymous.
And we're also going to do a companion documentary so you can meet the real women who did this and other people like them who are making a difference. And this will give birth to a digital education platform that we're building as an offshoot of the two films to help people in all different sectors of society know how, with no personal risk, they can contribute to ending human trafficking and modern-day slavery.
Sex trafficking is such a horrific subject. It's very hard to present in the media. Most people are not open to or would want to see interviews or images or conversations. As you know, many of the girls involved in sex trafficking are 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. The idea of creating an entertainment film is to try to bring awareness of this subject to a large audience who don't go to documentary films, who won't read these types of political stories or follow them in the news.
We had tried all the usual things, what we were supposed to do, and it didn't matter. And therefore, we decided to do something about it.
I am just one of these women. I am an activist, I'm a feminist activist, and I took part in this because there was this situation of having enough.
I had lost a good friend of mine that had been in prostitution and gave up. So it was impossible for us just to sit and whine about the situation. We started to put in ads in where prostitution is sold. Of course, the buyers need to be anonymous, so it happens on the internet, or they buy unregistered phones, and we did the same. We put in ads in the newspaper and on the internet.
We just had enough. Some of us started talking. It just happened.
As soon as a new ad was put in, many men showed their interest. I think it took an hour to maybe get about 100 men. And the younger we acted, the more exciting we were. And in the beginning, we said to those wanting to buy us, don't you know that buying women in Iceland is criminal? Big Sister is watching you. And this was meant to scare them away from buying women. This was a hard work because it was difficult to sell oneself and use the lingo they use in prostitution.
If we would all come out and tell our names, it would be easier for them to start again. I think it is important that we stay anonymous, at least many of us.
I tried to sell myself over the phone, and the client asked, how old are you? He said, well, I'm 32, I said, and they didn't want to buy that, but that's how we did this. And we gathered the names of men, their phone numbers and emails, and suddenly we had done what the police said they were not going to do.
I think it was an eye-opener to us. We hear a very loud message from the people that we serve. that they want more justice to victims of sexual crimes.
I thought the Operation Big Sister was so clever, and it just shows the power of women and creativity.
Yes.
They knew enough to keep safe, but they challenged the system. They got a result. It was fabulous. It was absolutely, I wish I would have thought of it myself.
It's one example of where, when the community recognizes that there's a problem, there's somebody out there thinking outside the box. And guess what? It was a great box. They jumped out of it, put the suspects in it, gift wrapped it, and gave it to law enforcement. Heck of an idea.